So there's this alien civilization that we only know as cave dwellers or vendors. They are way more advanced than humanity, though their civilization got destroyed by mysterious sickness called the infliction. Vendors have power to shapeshift, and their true form is most likely too much for human to handle. They start doing research on humans, and they decide to kidnap one to test if there's chance of life form being 100% immune to infliction. They fail, and one alien responsible for taking care of prisoner and accidentally spreading infliction to her decides to help the prisoner escape. In just one day, majority of population is infected. The main symptom are losing sense of skin, getting pale, immortality, and crystal growth inside your body. As far as we know, this can affect every single living creature. Even birds can no longer fly due to weight of crystals. The announcement this getting to it causes mass panic, and some people, in order to escape fate worse than death, attempt to take their lives. So world is completely fucked, and there's nothing anyone can do. Governments around the world decide to start sending people to planet that may or may not contain a cure to infliction. Random 8 people get selected, no matter the age or even disability. They are assigned numbers and get code names based on virtues, except for a gun and toolbox. They all have one day to get everything, and they can bring only one personal belonging with them, so their destination is Mount Impossibility, a gun mountain reaching past every cloud. At the peak or close to it is layer 1 of impossibility, and the deeper you go, the more layers you will get to see. Also, the closer you are to core of impossibility, the faster infliction advances. A main source of knowledge about the first 8 people mainly comes from number 5, who brought a notebook and pen with him. He notes everything that happens during expedition. Layer 2 is large cave system with weight energy barrier blocking entrance to elevators that lead to Layer 3. In Layer 2, the first 8 encounter some odd beings, including 6 cave dwellers, the Siren, and so-called the Elder and the Watcher. Cave dwellers in Layer 2 got so sensitive to light due to infliction that even their own artificial sun hurts them, and the Siren is water monster that converts its victims into more of itself. The Elder is cave dweller who went insane due to infliction. They stalking him, they see it begin to attack in shadows. Whatever the Watcher is unknown, but it is very sensitive to light. During groups time in Layer 2, one of them escaped back to Layer 1, other got lost in dark maze, and another one killed by Siren. Layer 3 is expansive underground city that was supposed to act as last resort to save humans from infliction in case it gets to her. The infliction started to heavily affect one person in particular, which is Faith. It started to make her really severe headaches, and she becomes extremely sensitive to any noise. Long story short, the infliction within Faith somehow evolved enough to become somewhat sentient, and she was starting to slowly lose control of her body as the organism inside her started to use her body as a shell, and it became extremely hostile to anything it hears. Only 3 people survive Layer 3, with Faith becoming a monster, and Pagani, who is her partner, decides to sacrifice themselves to distract Faith and make sure that other 3 people get out of the city safely. So in game you play as the adventurer person with weak sense of morality who brings judgment to others. Layer 1 looks different now because of 2 things. A house in Graveyard. House belonged to number 24. Greg, an artist who hurt himself in order to gain material for it. For example, making crystal flower out of his own crystals. 24 also happened to be only confirmed dead, inflicted so far with his corpse, and a kid who house being in his grave. Grave in itself is made for presumed the first person judged by the adventurer's patience, also known as number 2, the same person who escaped Layer 2. He gets killed by the adventurer with an axe for only one sin. Sloth. Currently, it is unknown what happens to patience after that. Adventurer descends into Layer 2 with the Elder, Watcher, Siren, and Vendor still being here. In Layer 2, player encounters 2 of them, and one of them is Kenneth, the person that got lost in a maze. Player helps him escape a maze, though he passes out right if that. The second human is Perry, a guy who got lucky twice. One is that he actually survived, and 2 is the body that he got from the infliction. He didn't suffer like the others. Perry still wants to go on despite getting quite a lot from Fate, which adventurer considers to be another sin grade. As they are ready to kill Perry, he explains how only thing he did was getting lucky. Adventurer says that since he did suffer like the others, he deserves to suffer now. Perry gives up trying to reason, though he actually gets paid. We collect all crystal orbs and path to the elevator lies open now. The elevator thaw is regular room with 4 beds, a table, and few places to sit. The comically big white glowing button on the wall is what activates the elevator. We descend to Layer 3, which still is the same big expansive underground city. This time the building are located. It has few inhabitants, including Faith and what's left of her victims. Guns, the 3 victims are animated corpses. Since organism controlling Faith is sentient and is crystal from infliction, it probably can control other stuff if it spreads to it, acting as some kind of hitman. Why guns themselves aren't much of a threat. If they spot you, they will scream, alerting Faith and sending a running to your location. Faith in Layer 3 is blind and relies purely on hearing. Layer 3 is the place where player learns of origins of infliction, stuff from beginning of the video, introducing new characters that we know almost nothing about. The prisoner who is the abducted human, and Mimi who is in a lane. Going through Layer 3, you may notice a lot of things written on walls. Those are clues from Agony and what to do to unlock the elevator. The plan includes freezing Faith. Agony themselves appears corpse in one room with radio. In Layer 3, Adventure finally meets Kenneth in person. Now you can can do two things: help him unlock the room he's in, or kill him. If you lead him to kitchen room and pull the lever on your side, he does. But if you help him and meet him at balcony, he will start miming him. He talks about how he misses being able to eat and normal stuff like that. He mentions his sister that made yummers apple pies, but she became a doctor. Kenneth also seems to wish the inflicted could die. This leads me to believe that helping him is canon, as we might get Transigent's badge of him soon. I'm sorry, little one. Now back to Faith. Adventurer manages to freeze her and deactivate elevator lockdown and is able to safely proceed to layer 4. This is where game ends as of now. Now I will mention stuff that may or may not be canon. Toad once made comic way adventure talks with Kenneth, and we see that someone left a rose in place where we kill patients, also implying that patients actually visited Kenneth once and said some philosophy stuff that Kenneth didn't understand until he met us. At the end, Kenneth says you must finish this for all of us. Those who remain, good luck, adventure. Fix the mistakes we've made, which makes me want scotomaphobia doing happily, but then again, Kenneth made I insanely. Toad is unpredictable. Scout tf2 out.